Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome back for episode 2 of Totally Us Unscripted.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah. Woo. We are back for part 2 of What About Your Friends?
Stand their ground.
Will they let you down again?
Oh.
All right. I am Sylvia, also known as Carol.
I am Sharita.
And I am Winsome. And we are so glad that you have come back to join us. And so before we get the party started, I wanted to highlight our feature product this week. And so this week we are highlighting Affirm Candle Company. Affirm Candle Company. And so Affirm Candle Company is a Black-owned luxury candle company with you in mind. And so all of the homemade fragrances are toxin free. They're made with love, and they say that they seek to provide a sensory experience that you can enjoy as part of your wholeness or your wellness practices. So we want to highlight Affirm. It is a young woman. She is a Black woman, and she is doing great things. So please patronize them. Their website, I think, should be on the screen somewhere for you to patronize them. I know that you will not be disappointed. All right.
They smell good.
I know they do. They do.
Yeah, they smell really, really good.
Yeah,
I like
it.
Yes.
All right. So you know that our show is intended to inspire intentional living.
Yes.
All right. So
Yes.
we are here to stimulate. We are here to motivate. We are here to awaken and encourage purposeful planning and willful ways of life in every area of our lives, whether it's your relationships, your friendships, your money, your ministry, your assignment. It's moving intentionally in this season. So we are so happy that you're back with us.
Yes, we are. Yes, we
Thank
are.
you guys for
Carol.
inspiring you. So great.
Last week was, my God.
And that was the first episode.
Just the first.
I
And
mean.
you know you all had some homework from me, right?
Oh, God. Carol is
She like the
always
guru
giving
of
us homework.
Yes, I am the
Golly.
guru of homework.
God.
So last time when we were talking about what about your friends, we were talking about needs and the hierarchy of needs.
See, they had to go look that word up.
I
They
know
didn't even
that's
know what it
right.
meant.
So I hope everyone looked it up. But
Okay.
in case you didn't,
Uh-huh.
it is actually something that you put into ranks of level of importance.
Oh,
Okay.
my.
All right.
Some of you all may have heard of the Maslow's
Yes.
hierarchy of
Uh-huh.
needs.
Yes,
of
I
course.
have.
That's
Yeah.
Maslow.
So there are different levels.
We're educated. We are educated right here.
So, it's a psychological educational thing. going
Yes.
on.
I took it in college.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Children's psychology.
And you remember
Yeah.
all these years.
Uh-huh.
Come on now. You
Getting
better.
back into psychology too, right?
Child, that's another. Don't do me on this show.
Ooh, Jesus.
So some of those things you want to look for when you are actually dissecting for yourself about your needs in friendships, in relationships, is maybe thinking about is your first hierarchy of need loving and belonging? Do you actually really need that? Is that something at the top level, or is that something at the lower level?
Now,
Okay?
come on now. I think loving and belonging is like fundamental. Like, if that's not at the, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the foundation that
that's
you build
where you
on,
start, right?
I would think.
You would hope, right?
True,
You would hope.
true.
But for some people, as I kind of spoke about last time, may need safety and security.
That is true.
Okay,
That is
now.
true. That is
Okay.
true.
All right.
If you
So-
go from that angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people may need to be lifted up, encouraged. So they may need self-esteem, building their self-esteem.
Okay.
So that is something that they may need.
Okay.
Well, that's major. Anyway,
Yes.
we'll
Yeah.
talk about that on another show.
Okay.
Because if they don't have that self-esteem, they just gonna be running around, just jumping in friendships. And
But is it my responsibility to build your self-esteem?
Ooh, as a friend,
Yeah.
As a friend. Well,
you probably can help. I mean, it may not be your responsibility because I need to feel good about myself.
Right.
well,
Before I can really, you
that
talked about it.
friend's purpose in your life may be to encourage you, to keep you built
To help
up,
build.
so that you can move forward with what you need. Because we were talking about purpose, and there needs to be purpose in what we're doing.
Okay.
Okay, but wait. So when a person has low self-esteem, doesn't that run the risk of like interfering in the relationship, like hindering the relationship? If my esteem is low,
Yeah,
like,
because it can hinder the capacity. Your self-esteem low. I talked about this last time.
yes,
You cannot hold the weight of somebody's negative emotional state.
okay,
Eventually, it could explode if you don't know how to bring it together or be that one that can help them come out of that.
But what if your purpose or your assignment for that individual is to actually keep them encouraged?
But then you got to build your capacity to keep them encouraged,
Right,
without
right,
being
right.
crushed.
in the
front.
meantime, right? Because like I can see like a person who is like build me up, and then in the process of you building them up, you like lacking or you're running on empty. It's like that concept around like caregiving.
Yeah.
How people will care for like their ailing family member, but they are not taking care of themselves, and then they end up dying before the family member because they're not taking care of themselves. So I think, I just think it's risky, right? When you are in friendship with somebody who has low self-esteem, and you have to like constantly keep building them up and encouraging them and telling them they're good. Like some people can't receive that because they haven't done their own internal work. So you could say it, like you could say it over and over and over again. But if they don't feel that within themselves, at some point
it can break. It can, that pressure crush you.
It will.
Yeah.
It will
Yeah.
definitely.
Crush it.
It will definitely crush you. And something that you hit on about the whole. Sometimes you may be caregiving or what have you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm one that does caregiving too as well. And having those good whole friendships, intentional as we've been saying, it helps a great deal.
Right.
These two right here, they know, but if they didn't know, now they know. They are the ones that actually keep me lifted up and keep me encouraged. I'm not gonna cry tonight.
Oh God!
Yeah, that's episode 2.
Right.
Episode 2. We will not do that on episode 2. But before you finish that, if we didn't have the capacity to carry you in your weak moment,
right,
then it could go south really quickly.
It definitely could.
And we're listeners. People have to be listeners. Not just go in trying to tell you.
Exactly.
I mean, we being funny. If you want to cry, girl, you cry.
But that is true. They have to have the capacity, because if they didn't have the capacity, then they couldn't be in relationship and commune with me a lot of times, because sometimes they are going to have to hear some things or what have you. We have to discuss some things, talk through some things or what have you, just to keep each other lifted up, which kind of brings me into something I wanted to ask you all about your core values. Core values of friendships and relationships or what have you. Do you all have maybe like 1 or 2 core values that we even exemplify, or you exemplify with others, or need to have in friendship?
Yeah, I have a couple, but one that I think is pervasive, not just in friendships, but in every other area of my life, is integrity. Because I know what it's like for people to say one thing and do another thing. So for me, it's very, very important for me to show up as integral as I possibly can. And so integrity for me is being there when I say that I'm going to be there,
Right.
like showing up because I said I would,
Mhm.
like calling because I said I would, like
Right.
going because I said I would, even if I'm tired, even if I feel inconvenienced or whatever.
Mhm.
Like integrity dictates for me to stay and to stick with my word. So that's very, very extremely important to me.
Yeah.
Is integrity. Yeah.
Okay.
For me, probably honesty.
Okay.
Honesty, because I'd rather you tell me something about me than lead me on.
Mhm.
Don't lie to me. Don't have me thinking one thing and then it's another. Be
That's
honest with
good.
me.
That's good.
That's with anything. I tell my family, friends, well, be honest with me.
Okay.
And then when you be honest, then let me deal with how I respond to your honesty.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
Be honest with me.
Be honest.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So what's one of your core values, ma'am?
I would
Why
say
she done threw this
Right.
Now, we told y'all this unscripted. We didn't even know that was coming.
Right.
So we're looking around.
I have a couple, but one is support. Something that you said, even with the integrity, with the whole showing up. I like to let my friends know, and I like to know that you are actually there. Physically, emotionally, those two things, they go hand in hand, but support is a big thing for me. Knowing that I have someone that is there, knowing that I can depend on them, in those special moments, because I am big on making sure that I show up for those special moments because they mean something different to each of us.
Right.
So support.
So your first intentional key for tonight is to evaluate what your core values are for your friendships.
Yes.
What are those values that you want to transfer into the relationships that you have? So that's a really good key.
Okay.
Because I think that, again, sometimes we can go into these things so willy-nilly that we're not really thinking about, like, what do I need from this person?
Right.
And I think when we don't have those core values, we welcome and invite everyone.
That's right.
We
do.
We
That's
do.
Right.
And so that's when we have
You just let everybody in.
Because that go back to what you talked about from the first show. You don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you have to know who you are. So once you start allowing and letting just anyone in, you have to understand too, in those relationships, they start to actually attach to you.
Right.
So the things that they're going through, the things that they carry, they attach to you. And so you start to actually carry it.
Right.
And it can cause you to end up in toxic relationships.
Yeah.
Because you don't even know it's bad for you.
Right. Before you know it, like you said, all of these things. Like, I never used to have an attitude, or I never used to deal with anger or rage and things like that. But you are around it so much that we don't take it. It's like subconsciously we just take it on, and we begin to live out these values that are not ours.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to constantly and consistently, you have to check in with yourself. Check in
That's
with
right. Self-evaluation.
Yes.
And I'm a very self-reflective person.
Reflection.
Yeah. Self-reflection is important, because if I'm in a relationship or a friendship, I need to be checking myself too, because I don't want to impose who I may have some situations on anybody else.
Right.
So you have to self-reflect, self-check on yourself.
Yeah.
If not, you'll be dumping again who you are in the other self, and not. Sometimes we be having a little split personality. Now y'all know, I call it out. It's a split personalities or something. And they start off, because you done jumped in.
Yeah.
You think
You
they
jump
nice.
off and you think that
they all good, honey. And you don't want that trip.
And when you go on that
trip,
get
your sister about these trips.
Or you be traveling and trying to think, come out, jump out, and you be like, wait a minute. And see, you ain't got your stuff, and they can't help you because they done laid out. See, I'm trying to tell you. But no, people kind of cold switch sometimes. Especially guys.
Different types of cold switching.
But that goes to ask, what are the motives of the friendship?
Right.
Why are we entering into this friendship? Who are you? Where did you come from?
It could be motive, or their emotional wellness is not
intact. Yeah. Yeah.
Or they could be opportunists. We trying y'all said we trying to help them live inspired, intentional living. And some people are attached to opportunities.
Wow.
They in a friendship,
they're looking for opportunities.
What they can gain and what they can get.
And this is the uniqueness and genuineness of this friendship sisterhood right here. I'm telling on the lie. Okay. This is not an opportunity.
Not at all.
Oh my God.
Because this is like the guru of
whatever
of it all. And it wasn't an opportunity for us just to attach to you. We felt your heart. Right? So we want to be friends.
Right. And vice versa.
We didn't even know we was going to be friends. It just kind of
it just kind of happened. It just happened.
And we weren't here to take.
No, not at all.
We didn't want to take. We weren't coming to get all the wisdom. I mean, a bottle full of wisdom. But the wisdom, what happened? She fell off.
She is about to.
I didn't know what. I looked at
oh my God.
We got towels. And for our designated friends who I'm sure you're watching this live, Jessica, get the towels. Get the towels. Deidre, get the towels because we're going down here. But
oh my God, we're gonna need some ushers coming to soon.
Opportunities, and that will really draw you from wanting to have friends again.
Oh, absolutely.
When you find out that somebody really, it wasn't a genuine connection,
right.
They only wanted what they could get from you or use you for the purpose of what they needed you for, then they dump you because they can't handle you.
Right. Yeah.
Because their values were not
the
same.
Yeah. Or either they didn't know their core values.
Exactly.
Right.
They just living and existed and never really self-reflect. You guys
who?
I'm getting it together.
Carol, I don't know what's going on.
I'm getting it together. I am getting it together.
Y'all won't believe this.
It's okay.
It is okay.
I love my friends.
That's right. That's right.
And to be serious about intentional living.
Exactly.
We have an intentional friendship, an intentional sisterhood. This is intentional. That's why we didn't rush it.
Right.
Because we needed the right time, the right moment. We need to cultivate what we have here before we could come talk to you about it.
Right.
So some people are trying to help people in friendships and they have not themselves developed and went through the process of friendships and sisterhood. So they rushing.
You talking real heavy today.
They rushing. They rushing into these friendships and then it's smacking them down because it wasn't genuine.
And it is. And it's taking some people out. It's actually taking some people out.
What you mean?
But we had to experience.
It's
taking them out as far as in their mental health and how they're showing up when they are in other places with people or what have you. When they even see other friends, how they respond. They're responding negatively about friendships and things of that nature when they've had those bad experiences.
Right. True.
Yeah. So.
Lord. All right, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Okay, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm trying to shoot you. But it's a serious thing. It's a serious thing, and it's a serious matter for us.
Yeah.
And we mean it. We mean this from the bottom of our heart. We love to love. And that's just us. That's just us. So,
and we understand how to carry the weight.
Yes.
Of the friendship, because sometimes not easy.
It's not. It's definitely not easy.
It's not always easy to know how to be in spaces when you got heavy hitters. Okay, guys, heavy hitters over here, and so we have to learn how to. What is happening? Like what? But we had to learn each other. It's not always, and when you feel, because Kara picks you up in our spirit, and
wait. I'm so glad you said that because one of the things that I wanted to talk about, right? Because you left off last time talking about being able to manage the growth of your friend, right? And still being able to maintain the relationship, right? Now, the reason why I believe that this relationship works here is because we get to be all of the parts of us at different times, right? And so what do I mean by that, right? Let me give you an example. I'm gonna tell you.
What do you mean?
Let me give you an example. So we riding out a day full of fun, that ate good. We driving home, and then Holy Ghost just drop in the truck. We riding, and I just felt this like prophetic thing fall on me. And so and so because I am with people who understand that I flow in these different functions and things, it wasn't like strange, right? Like y'all gave me the opportunity to speak directly into your life. And so here's your intentional key number 2. When was the last time you discerned where your friend is going? And when was the last time you spoke to where they were going? And so this is about intentional living. And if you are a person who is prophetic and you can see, and your friendship should afford you the space to be able to pour into each other on that level and it not feel strange, right? Or crazy. Like I don't need a moment in time where you say, okay, now we could be spiritual, or now we could be deep, or whatever. No, we keying at the dinner table, and then boom, prophetic voice over here, gets her unction, and she start rubbing your back. It's like, don't let her rub your back.
And don't let her hold your hand. Don't let her hold your hand.
She start to squeeze the hand, and it's a wrap. But you have the space.
Yes.
Right? You have the space to be able to do that. And
we're free to be. Yes. We're just free to be our authentically selves.
Yeah.
And right now, in the point that I know I'm at in my life, I need genuineness and authenticness.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I don't want to talk
about it. She won't talk about it, y'all, but she just
but it matters.
It really does.
Because we laughing now, but we're very serious in what we're saying. It don't. Our switching, people know we switch. We could be in the laughter, and because who we are. Right. We know we
know when each other switches.
Yeah.
Because we just know each other.
Right.
We feel each other. We get each other. We get each other. So in that getting, we know how to flow with each other too as well. It's almost like we're in sync in different type of moments, in different settings, and in different spaces too as well. So even with that code switching, we know how to code switch even in our friendship too as well.
And it didn't make us nervous.
No.
When the prophetic word came, we was like, speak, Lord.
Whatever, Sharita. This one over here. Okay, all right.
Well, then you got to be knowing, wait a minute, Lord, did I hear you? You want me to say what?
Yeah, you want to be around. You want to be around people who have your heart.
Yeah,
that right there.
Who have your heart, and each one of them have my heart, and I feel I have their heart.
Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely. So even in allowing your friends to grow in these different spaces that they actually occupy, there are some things that you need to do to allow them to grow sometimes too as well.
Okay.
I think one thing is you have to make sure you be a good listener, and I know that goes back to the discernment that you were speaking of too as well. But just being a good listener in those moments when they are, sometimes even having those growing pains too as well.
So that means when I'm listening, I'm not talking and giving them my experience.
No, I'm listening.
Right? That means I'm listening. Not giving them, I know what you're feeling, because no, that's not what we're doing.
Right.
That's not what we're doing.
We're not one-upping each other.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
Like, listen.
Yeah.
Shush for me.
Because sometimes you just need to just sit and you just need to listen, and that's all they need you to be in that moment.
Don't give them a plan. Don't give them a solution. Let them talk.
Yes, she talking heavy.
I understand. Because we have to talk with these things where we be trying to talk and they, because this was you should have did. No, that's not. I just need to tell you what I'm saying.
Right. But I think that also goes back to what I had to do with other relationships was to ask people before we engage this hour-long conversation, what do you need from me? Because I was realizing that I was giving to people what they didn't need. And then it would land me in a place of frustration because I'm problem solving and I'm trying to figure out how I can support you when all you really wanted to do was to vent. You know, so some of us too, we got to get to a place where we're like, what do you need in this moment? I don't want to give you what you don't need.
Woo! That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. Also, I can think of too is we talked about this earlier, making sure you show up. So when people are in different spaces and they're growing or what have you, making sure you show up for them, making sure you support them in whatever they are doing. Because they have different things going on. So just making sure you show up.
And that's good for people who, you know, maybe deal with abandonment issues. And they're waiting, they really need for somebody to show up for them. They are waiting because some people deal with abandonment issues or, you know, somebody told them they gonna show up and don't show up.
Right.
And that causes a negative undertone. So now they think everybody not gonna show up.
Right.
But when they can't get friends that do show up, remember I think we talked about this on the first show. It helps cultivate them. It pulls them up.
Right.
So that they know how to deal in
and especially in that growth portion that they're doing too. So they still need you to be there.
Yeah.
Still need you to be there, regardless if they're growing.
And then be honest when you just can't come.
That's all.
But okay. Yes.
Okay.
Be honest.
Why we going ahead on we almost done here. We almost done. We're gonna hold you for 3 more minutes.
Be honest, right? When you are not able to show up, and don't leave people like hanging and hoping and wishing. Because listen, a lot of times what our friendships do is they provide us with this, and you could do, I guess I'm giving the homework tonight. So you could go look this up. It creates a corrective emotional experience, meaning that throughout my life, people have disappointed me. They've let me down. Now I'm in these friendships, and these friendships are acting as a corrective experience. Like people do want to be with me. Like they do want to be in my presence. Like I'm not bad. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody wants to leave. And so we have to be mindful and really sensitive of how it is that we're treating our friendships, because we could be re-traumatizing people unknowingly because of our inconsistencies or our lack of values within our relationship. So I don't want to re-traumatize you. I don't even know what your tender part is or place is, right? So I have to be careful in how I engage with you and make sure that I'm aiding in a corrective experience versus a re-traumatizing experience.
That's good. And so, gosh.
I have one more.
I'm about to look up. Oh my gosh. Y'all better keep tuning in on Tuesdays because every Tuesday, every round goes higher. And even though we only have 2 more minutes, guys, do you want to give your third point, Karen?
My third one is investing in what they are doing. Invest in what they are doing when they are growing.
This is so good.
This is good. Sorry. Yes, I know.
It's not enough time in the day.
Yes, but making sure you invest in it, because that shows them that you care, that you love, that you're with them. So
we thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you. We will see you all again on next Tuesday, 7:00. If not, listen in our podcast that comes on Fridays at 5:00. You be riding in your car, wherever you need to go. Listen to this, replay it, take your notes, and try it out.
Yeah, try it out. Definitely.
Try this stuff out.
Yeah. We're not just talking for the sake of talking.
No.
We want you to
work through it. You said do the work.
Yes.
Because some of y'all need to do the work.
Yes. Some of y'all need to repair some relationships, and you need some of these keys to do that. But that's for another day.
Just know that we know that it works.
Totally unscripted. See you again.
See y'all next week.